Hi everyone! Today I thought I would sit down and finally film my experience self-publishing my children's book with Lulu and also give a book reveal and show you the two different versions of the book that I had made. So I have some things written down in my notebook here and we're just gonna start. So the first thing that I learned with my book is that not every self-publishing platform has the ability to print in this particular landscape size. So I made my illustrations on my own in Procreate and I used the 11 by 8.5. I'll insert that to make sure I'm putting the right dimension as well, but not every platform can print a book that size. So I found with Lulu that they did. They were one of the only ones that I could find that actually would print my book as it was, and me not having to alter it or crop it to make it fit with a different self-publishing site. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, whether you're doing a landscape version like I did or in portrait. Definitely make sure whoever you want to self-publish through can actually do the dimensions that you have set, or it may require you to do some cropping. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing that I learned was that there are going to be borders that you need to pay attention to for your text and your image. So what was cool about Lulu is that they, after you upload your pages, they kind of give you a mock-up of what the book will look like after it's printed, and it gives you these different borders to kind of let you know that you want to keep your text or key elements of your image within these borders, because when it goes off to print, if you go outside of that, it's possible that it may get cut off. So I definitely had to go back through and move my text around so that it would not be cut off when it started to be printed. So keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is that the book is going to have an extra page in the front and in the back. And I'm going to show you mine so that you get a better idea. So here is my book, at least one version of it. And when you open it, there is this page that stands alone. So you notice that there's not another page right here. It's the back of the front cover and then this page. This is Raspberry, by the way. Two little gray boxes. And then when you turn to the next page, that's actually when you start to get the two images. And it's the same for the back. You'll have one standalone page and then this one right here. And I bring that up because you want to keep that in mind, because if I had started my first picture, the figgy here, on that standalone page, it's not really what I want. I wouldn't want to not have it with another image like these leaves here. That's just a personal preference, but just something to keep in mind. So when you have your pages, just know that it is going to ask you to upload them as a PDF. As someone who has never done this before, I did not know that. Luckily, it's quite easy. I made all of my images in Procreate, so I was able to upload them all into a Word document page by page, and then just convert that into a PDF. And you can do that when you hit export in your computer and just change it over to a PDF. But another thing that I have to say is I tried to use some other sites, I won't name them, but they weren't really easy to navigate for me. But when I went over to Lulu, I was quite surprised that it was fairly easy, and it was definitely easy for a beginner. I found everything really laid out to where I could understand it, and like when you start moving within the tools that it has, it was easy to grasp. Whereas when I tried to use some of the other ones, I was honestly so confused. But that is just my experience. But I also wanted to take a moment to show you the two different versions of the book that I ordered. So you saw one of them. So for my book, Figgy Time for Fall, I started with a matte version here. And I actually noticed with this one, because it was my first, that the black font did not really pop off the page, which is what led me to go with the second version. And I got the glossy finish and changed the font over to white, and I feel like it just pops more. But you can see how this one has a reflection because it's glossy. I actually really prefer the glossy finish, but that's just a personal preference. But always make sure to do a proof, because you won't know that maybe there's something like this where you want to change it because it's not really what you're looking for. And you'll see that with the matte one, there's not really a reflection because it's matte. And within Lulu, actually for the cover pages, oh, here's a side by side too. Let me see if I can get them both in the light. I feel like the glossy one's just a little bit brighter than the matte one. But when you go into Lulu, they have this cool thing where if you have not already made a cover page, then they have a tool where you can just upload 2 images and you'll see what that would look like as a cover page, and you can kind of move it around. You can use your tool to write your text. I went ahead and included mine in my image already, but I thought that was super nice because I wasn't really sure how to make a cover page without their tool. So I'm very happy that I was able to upload these 2 images and have them be a part of my book. But you probably also want to see some of the pages because that's a very important part of your book. So I will say I am super happy. I was super impressed with the printing. Felt really good to see that the integrity of the image from Procreate was still really good. I was so afraid it was going to be grainy, it was going to be blurry, but it wasn't. And so I'm super happy with that. So let's see. I'm going to show you one of my favorite pages, which is Figgy in his fall sweater. He's got his rain boots on, and he is just happy that it is finally fall. And you'll see that it looks really good. This looks very, very close to how it looked in Procreate. I'm very happy with it. I do want to point out one little thing, however, with the printing, and I've learned that this is something that can happen because there are many books being printed, and it's not just your book. So in between the printing processes, it's likely that not every page is going to come out perfect, and it's definitely something to keep in mind. So in this page, for example, I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna probably insert a different clip here so that you can actually see it. But there's actually a white line there that is not in my Procreate image. So that means that it happened when it was being printed. It didn't have to do with the image itself. So this is the first example. You can't really see it from far away, but there is this small white mark here. And then I did have one other page that had one as well, showing it here. It's so small that I really am not that upset about it. I mean, obviously, I wish it didn't have it, but I feel like it's just going to maybe sometimes happen because of there being multiple books being printed. And see, you'll see that there was one more here. The same thing sort of happened again. It is small, so I'm still very happy, but I would say that's definitely something to keep in mind if you go with, I think, any of these sites actually. I feel like this is something that could happen. But because I'm so excited about my book, I'll show you one more page because why not? So one page that I absolutely love how it came out is Figgy painting a picture of a strawberry, and it is honestly one of my favorite pages. I just absolutely love how it came out. I was super impressed. And again, remember to pay attention to where you put your text, because if I had put it further up, then it would have gotten cut off. And you don't have to leave white space around your pages like I did. You can bring them, enlarge them out more so that it covers the whole page. I just did this because I actually just kind of like it. But overall, I felt like my experience with Lulu was very positive. I actually would love to make another book through them. I feel very happy. And some of the other things to keep in mind with Lulu is that when you are finished with your book, you proof it, you love it, and you are ready for it to be done. They actually have where you can sell it on their website through their bookstore, so that is an option. The other thing you can do is you can bulk order from them, for example, and get the physical books, and then from there you could go to places and sell it, or you could list them on your website and you could be the one to fulfill them if you want a little bit more control. And then the other way is these sites down here are who they are compatible with. If you list through them as a store, then you can do it kind of like a print on demand. So the customer would go to one of these sites of your store, and they would actually fulfill the order for you like a print on demand would. So that is also something to think about which one you would want to do. And probably the last thing I will say is the shipping. So the shipping is about 3 to 5 business days, which maybe doesn't feel like a long time to you, but to me, that felt super long because it's not just 3 to 5 business days to get to you, it's 3 to 5 business days just to print the book. Again, there are so many books being printed, I understand, but when you are finished with it and you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm so ready to get it, it can be really hard to wait. So keep that in mind, that it is 3 to 5 business days just to print. And then depending on the shipping that you pay for, that's how long it'll take for your book to get to you. I would say 2 weeks is pretty good time frame, so it does take a little bit of time. Again, I am super happy with my book. I was super impressed. Will be using again. And if you are actually interested in checking out my book, Figgy Time for Fall, you can actually go to my website. It will be flow-with-fox.com, and you can check out my book. Let me know if you want to get one. I would also love if you would comment below if you are working on a book and what it's about. Maybe I could check out your book too. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I will absolutely try my best to answer. But that is the video I had planned for today, and I hope that you're having an amazing day and good luck with your book. And until next time, bye.